So here we are then today after our away game to FC United of the 8 reserves. The final score was Bristol United 5, FC United 8-2. We're joined by manager John Gilbertson and today's man of the match, Jack Cousins. We'll start with you, Jack, then. So give us your thoughts on the game.
Well, we started off well, got the first goal, and then we just switched off for the next 10-15 minutes. 2 goals went in. Not sure if they should have stood, but that's the way the game is. Saw out the half, and then the second half we listened to John, got the ball down again, started playing football like we were told at training, not like last week, and managed to come back into the game.
Good answer, yeah. So over to you then, John. Obviously, as Jack just said, going 2-1 down in the first half. What was the key factors today that swung the game back in our favour?
I think it's the half time in terms of just speaking to the lads, because I make no bones about it, I don't think we should have went in 2-1 down at half time on the possession, the play. I think they might have slightly edged it. They was definitely on top the sort of first 20-25 minutes. Thought we come back and had a good spell, and it was a bit of a dubious decision to make to sort of cause us to go 2-1 down at half time. And the half-time team talk was quite straightforward, really. It's making sure the players are focused. They stay out of the sort of shenanigans, what goes on in a game sometimes of pushing and pulling and fouling. And I just said to the lads, look, just keep your concentration, keep your focus, keep the emphasis on getting the ball down, moving, and be brave, because that is one of the biggest things in football. Even if when we're sort of 3-2 up, to be telling the players to push on, to still keep on that front foot, keep attacking, it's being brave on the ball to get the 4th goal, to get the 5th goal. And it's like I said, that they know from me as a manager is what I want, but I thought they was magnificent second half and very brave on the ball, with still pushing on, attacking when we could have shut up shop, really. So it was a brilliant second half performance for us.
Yeah, so obviously going back again to the start of the season, you know, we've spoke about it before, the poor start that we had and the changing things up, and how much do you think that showed through today with the resilience shown with the players? And was there any sort of individual performances you pick out that was the catalyst in changing the game back into our favour?
It is a thing where the side's learning. I mean, I have to be patient, and we have to be patient, because we know we're a young side, and we've got some experienced players like Jack and Josh Gilbertson, who's young but also played hundreds of games. Then we've got some young players who've probably played less than 50 games, or certainly less than 100 games. So they're on that different sort of curve, learning curve. But we're getting better at it, as you would expect. And that's not really anything to do with my coaching or my management. It's players getting experience of game day scenarios, learning from mistakes, learning from their self. My job really as a manager is to sort of coach and guide people, and that's what you do, whether it's about passing the ball, whether it's about sort of keeping switched on in your focus. But the players are starting to get it and improving. We're nowhere near the finished article yet, but they'll only get better each game goes by, each month goes by, learning from situations. And I think the second half, this performance today and the second half how we played, we wouldn't have had that 12 months ago. We'd have probably might have scraped away with a 2-2 victory, or even a 3-2 victory, a 2-2 draw or a 3-2 victory. But what we was resounding and on top today. Forget the goals, what we've scored. We really put the pressure on in the second half, and it's easy sometimes to revert. So you're chasing goals. Let's go long. Let's go down the channels. Let's put it in towards our striker. But it's being patient and playing with your head, and that's a massive thing in sport, let alone football. But it's certainly going to be a big one for us. Keep your calm. Play with your head. Do what we're good at.
Yeah, back to you then, Jack. Obviously, you've been involved as a player, like John said, experienced at a higher level, but we've been on a good run as a team of late. Obviously, disappointing last week to lose in the cup game, how we did. How important was it to get back the winning ways today? And where do you think this can stand us as we go into the business end of the season and what we want to achieve?
I think this puts us in a good position again. Today was important that we got back to winning ways. Last week, it was, I want to say, a one-off. Hopefully it stays as a one-off. And we just put it behind us. We showed good spirit. Like I said, we went up early. Like John said, going 2-1 down, we didn't panic. Whereas last week, I think, we panicked a bit, went long ball. This week, we were like, no, we had a game plan, and we stuck to it. And we'll turn it around and hopefully we can build upon this again and just focus on the lead. I think maybe coming out of the cup might be a blessing. Now we can just go and do well for the rest of the season, hopefully.
Yeah, staying with you then, Jack. Obviously, man of the match today. Yeah. 2 goals. Probably unlucky with your third shot. It's deflected in for an own goal. But, you know, as a player today, putting in a man of the match performance, what do you think you brought to the team? What went through your mind when we were losing, and what you needed to do to sort of encourage the people around you to get going again?
Well, if you watch the game back, first 5-10 minutes, I was awful. So it was just made sure I concentrated on sorting myself out. I think the goal helped me when I scored my first. It was like, right, let's get back into the game. And I think a lot of the word that kept getting thrown about between lads was just staying smart and thinking, remember that just playing football. And I think I just helped talk, build courage, and my hard work reflects on the team. And then the team's like, oh, if he's working hard, then I got to be too. So, like I said, today we just didn't let our heads drop.
Yeah, that's good.
One thing I just add to that as well with Jack's performance, because Jack's a fantastic player for us, we know that. One thing is a manager, and seeing Jack on the ball and driving, beat 2 players and score goals like he did today, you sort of kind of expect it, and I think that's the easy part of Jack's game. Crazy to say, but what impresses me as a manager is his intensity of his runs. I mean, he's all over the pitch. He's never just going through the motions of a quick sprint or a quick jog. It's 100% effort in everything he does, and his desire is fantastic. The one thing I would really praise with Jack, because we've had a few words, he's one of our best players, he's a great player. For me as a manager, he gets caught up in some of the rubbish he don't need to get caught up in. And today, in a game where he could have easily easily get caught up into it, he stayed out of that today, and I thought he was magnificent today. And that's, again, with Jack, with hundreds of games of experience and one of the best players, he's still only young. You've got a lot to learn in terms of when to get caught up and when not to, and when to keep a cool head. And I thought he was brilliant at that today. And it sets the tone for the team, because they look at players like Jack, like Josh, like Sam, to sort of lead by example in Callum. So when we're calm, the rest of the team's calm. And that's, again, another learning curve for Jack in terms of a brilliant performance, but there's always learnings to be had. But some great performances today throughout the scene, but Jack was the pick of the bunch for me.
Yeah, that's right. So today then, that makes it 9 unbeaten in the league, I think I'm right in saying, and 8 wins out of 9. I know we've spoke before about not putting the pressure on the players and taking each game as it comes, but I think we've got to run a 6 games at home. We've got teams around us, games in hand. How realistic is a promotion push looking now?
I think it's very realistic, and I'm an optimistic person, and even in the sort of the doldrums of the start to the season when we weren't playing well and weren't picking up points, I took the pressure off the players in terms of, look, forgetting even winning games, let's concentrate on performance. But when I spoke to people away from the players, I've always said it's possible, because I know what we can do individually and as a team. But you're right, we're right back in the mix for promotion. We've got some terribly hard games coming up. We've got to play Partnell twice, Bristol boys twice. Are we good enough to win the league or get promotion? Absolutely. Can we handle it? Can we be calm in moments when we need to be? That is, unfortunately, if it's all down to me as a manager, being an experienced football player, we'll definitely win it, because I can tactics this and try for this, try for that. Football's not a game like that. It's not a game of chess. So in the tough moments, and we're going to be in tough moments, can Sam, can Cal, can Jack, can Josh, can Bill, can those players rise to the challenge and stay cool? That's a question for the team. But are we good enough? Absolutely good enough. And I think we're only going to get better over the coming years. This team's going to stay together, hopefully, and win many things. I've said I've been fortunate enough to be around in football a hell of a long time. And I said at the end of last year when we missed out by a point, I was gutted, I was sad, but this team is going to win things, and it's going to be a matter of time. If the players is patient, if they're with us, if they listen to me and listen to the sort of experienced players on the side, we will win things. Whether it's this year, that's a question of sort of wait and see, because that's I just don't know the answer to that. But are we good enough? 100%, absolutely. We got some brilliant players and a brilliant team, but we shall see what what happens over the rest of the season, I suppose.
On that note then, thank you both for your time today. Congratulations, Jack, on the man of the match.
Well done, Jack.
Thank you.
And we'll see everyone on the next one. Up the bollocks.